They call me Dan, the Lakers DTLF. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, family? It's your boy DTLF back with another one as we got the NBA Finals breakdown preview, but not without breaking news that happened today, man. But hopefully everybody's doing good. What up, Nate? What's up, Kimmy Goat, and everybody else who joins today? Guys, I want to give my live reaction because we had talked about this, when the New York Knicks got eliminated, and we knew there was a chance that Thibs would be fired. Now, I did mention that I believe Thibs would be fired if, and here's the key, if the Knicks thought they were a championship-ready team this year and they fell short, which they did. And as a result, we got the breaking news that Thibs was officially fired. What's up? Hey, good to see you, David. Good to see you, my friend. How you been? Hopefully everything's well. So my initial reaction to this was, wow, okay. The Knicks are serious. They want to win a championship. And now I think Thibs is a good coach. I really do. I like Thibs. I think he's tough-minded. He's hard-nosed. I think he is somebody who can elevate a team to play to the hardest of their potential. Not necessarily the best of their potential, but always they're going to run through the wall through Thibs. We saw Josh Hart thanking Thibs. We saw a lot of good positive feedback from, members of the organization and, of course, the players. So Thibs is a very good coach. All right, here's where I think he fell short. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Good to see you, bro. This is where I think Thibs fell short, yo. And that is the fact that Tom Thibodeau was stubborn with his rotations. Very stubborn with his rotations. Tom Thibodeau was very stubborn with those rotations to the point where we questioned what he was doing from time to time. How come Precious Achiuwa wasn't playing? How come he relied so heavily on the starting five? How come, you know what I mean? So by the time he made the adjustments, yes, the Knicks were able to get 2 games out of the series, but I think they really lost that series in game 1. And his stubbornness, I feel like, played a huge part in that. What's up, Jess? Good to see you, bro. So again, it's unfortunate whenever you see a good coach like Thibs, who's been in the league for years, and you're talking about a coach that took that franchise to back-to-back 50-plus wins in the season, which is something they hadn't done, in a long time, if ever. I got to check the record books, but if ever. And, it was very puzzling for some to why he got fired. But for me, not so puzzling. You got to look at the Knicks roster situation. They went all the way in. They pushed all their chips to the center of the table. I did think they will give him at least one more year with Cat. I thought he earned that because they took out the Celtics. While people may say, yeah, Jason Tatum was hurt. No, he wasn't. All right, they went up 3-1 while Jason Tatum was healthy for the most part, except for the end of game 4. Okay, so they went up 3-1. Credit to Thibs. A lot of people didn't think they had the potential. I did. I knew they had the potential to be a dark horse in the East. They did that. But again, certain things, there was reports in the locker room that they bumped heads with Karl Towns and Jalen Brunson from time to time due to the fact that those guys weren't fully committed defensively and so were sometimes getting exposed. He demands greatness from his team. By the way, this is the second time that Karl Anthony Towns gets Thibs fired. The first time it was in Minnesota. The second time is New York. And it almost felt as if the Knicks had to choose between Cat and Thibs. But he's not a soft coach, I'll tell you that, man. And not everybody can survive Tom Thibodeau. I'm glad he got the opportunity to showcase what he's got. But again, unfortunately, he came up short. Now, this is what's being reported as to why he was fired as the head coach of the Knicks, all right, as of right now today, June 3rd, 2025, all right? Apparently, the organization had a belief that a new voice was needed to push the team towards a championship. Despite his successful tenure, according to multiple credible sources, the key reasons for his dismissal include a need for a new voice, over-reliance on the starters, which I already mentioned, lack of bench development, okay, apparently his reluctance to trust his bench players, such as Miles McBride, Landry Shamet, DeLon Wright, limited the team's depth and flexibility, all right? Now, obviously, this issue became evident in the playoffs. delayed adjustments, such as using bench players only after falling behind 2-0 to the Pacers. All of that, right? So another reason supposedly that's being reported is his inflexibility in lineup adjustments, meaning Thibodeau's commitment to his starting lineup, even when it struggled, was a point of contention. The Knicks starting five, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl Towns, was outscored by 31 points in over 300 playoff minutes, notably losing a critical 9-point lead in the final minute of Game 1 against the Pacers. Now, his slow adjustments in the postseason were seen as tactical shortcomings. Now, this is very intriguing to me, and I will tell you guys why it's very intriguing to me. It's very intriguing to me because we have a coach that is similar to Thibs. Stubborn, sticks to his rotations, lacks adjustments. And now, luckily for JJ, he's a rookie coach. He can learn from that. But JJ runs the risk next season of becoming the next Thibs. If he does the same thing he did this year in the playoffs, where he didn't trust the bench much, right? Does that ring a bell? So, again, they let go of a good coach, but it feels like they want more. They could easily pivot and go get like a Post Malone, a.k.a. Mike Malone, ex-coach of the Denver Nuggets, right? They could pivot and get a good coach. There's some good coaching availability out there. He's the main one probably that's going to be targeted by the Knicks, but it'll be interesting to see in which direction they go. What's up, Solo? How you doing, brother? Just breaking down this firing because, people wanted to hear my opinion on it, and I know I'm a little late. I had to run errands, man. You know what it is. Third of the month, go pay bills, all that good stuff. But we're here, and we're going to break down the NBA Finals as well, my predictions, what I think are the keys, all of that. So stay tuned for all of it, family. But right now we're talking about Thibs. Did he deserve to get fired from the New York Knicks? I want to hear you guys' opinion. Why or why not? Guys, I actually think I'm going to open up the phone lines. If anybody wants to tap in, this will be, the first time I do this. But I want to hear your guys' opinion on this subject, at least, on why or why not Thibs deserved to get fired or not. I want to know reasoning behind why you guys think he got fired and if you guys think he deserved it. So the link was going to be out there for a limited time. I'm only taking a few calls today. But if anybody wants to call in, Thibs gets fired from the New York Knicks after back-to-back very successful seasons, 50-plus win seasons, and Eastern Conference Finals appearance. Thibs, you can argue that it wasn't warranted, but some might argue, hey, the Knicks want to win now, and they're not going to settle. All right, let's bring in our first caller, my guy, CJ. What's up, brother?
Fam? Can you?
Yes, sir, I can hear you loud and clear. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, bro. Just maxing and relaxing.
That's right. How you feeling about this firing, man? Head coach Tom Thibodeau fired by the Knicks today. How you feel about it?
I'm not even gonna lie. I laughed as soon as I saw that because the thing is, you fired a coach that took you to back-to-back 50 game seasons, something that hasn't happened since the 90s. Yeah, and somebody that literally just took you to the Eastern Conference Finals, somewhere that you haven't been at since 2000. Like, 99. Come on now. Like I said, yeah, but unfortunately, Leon Rose and all that, it's like it's tough to kind of gauge exactly what their mindset is. I know that they're going to be doing some roster reconstruction over there because they have a lot of inflated salary over there. So it's kind of tough to see because I know I know that's your second favorite team and all that, but it's kind of tough. Kind of see a great franchise like that kind of pivot in another direction like that. And that was a shock, and it was shocking. Don't get me wrong, I laughed, but it was kind of shocking though because I just saw that and then you just saw Shan's firing also. Like it was shocking, but like I said, bro, it's we're gonna see what's happening with the Knicks.
Yeah, the thing for me is a dangerous move because you built something. You were building a culture, and the players that they had, most of them fit that culture. I'm talking guys like OG, hard-nosed players that played really hard for Thibs. Guys like Mikal Bridges, It'll be interesting to see how a new coach can come in and continue that building of team chemistry and building of an identity that the Knicks were starting to establish. Like when I thought about the Knicks, yes, even though they won 50 games, they lost a lot of key games this season. But I knew that their identity, and this is what Thibs does. We remember him doing it with the Chicago Bulls teams that were led by Derrick Rose, had Joakim Noah, Lil Deng, Ben Gordon, Kirk Heinrich. He is known to bring out the most toughness out of a team. Right now,
Absolutely.
doesn't always translate. Obviously, he's never won a championship, so it doesn't always translate to winning. Because sometimes his biggest criticism is that he runs his players into the ground. Do you agree with that criticism, CJ? Why or why not, brother?
Absolutely, 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 bro. Like I was literally about to go. I was literally about to go to that. But you was over there spitting them fire like you always do. Literally, I actually kind of feel like that's part of the reason why they fired him because they were running all of their players to the ground, especially Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, he's the modern day Iron Man. This man does not miss games. If
Mm-hmm.
he's saying that he feels like we're playing a little bit too much and we're like tired and all stuff, then you might want to listen to him because you spent what five first round picks on that guy. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see him get injured because that's damaged goods right there. That's improper goods management right there. But like I said, I feel like that's part of the reason why they fired him because he's running them to the ground, and also a lot of their offensive sets too were kind of stagnant too. You saw a lot of the of course we was all there. You saw a lot through the playoffs. A lot of times they would get really stagnant offensively, and a lot of times it's a trendy league. You said it for years, Dan. Everybody's a copycat league. Everybody wants elite offense. Don't really channel the defense, but that was their identity. Like it brought that '90s vibe back into the NBA, which we all loved. Like we was like us being on playback, we loved that stuff. Just seeing Knicks play like elite defense and all that stuff, especially against Boston, because that was their identity. But I feel like part of the reason why I feel like they're going to, and I already know exactly who they're going to hire. They're going to hire Mike Malone. He's. I would not be surprised if he goes there or like did Nick Nurse get fired from Philly? I wouldn't know, but I think he
Uh,
did.
yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah, they're either going Mike Malone, Nick Nurse, or a flyer. They might try to bring old Van Gundy back into New York. So we'll
I can,
see.
I can see that. Yeah, but it's gonna get interesting, man. You know what? This also signifies to me that they are desperate. They feel like their window to win the championship is now. So don't be surprised if they throw their hat in the mix. I'm already hearing rumors about Giannis potentially to the Knicks. Now, right now, sounds like one of the top favorites to land Giannis is the Toronto Raptors. Man, I want to get your opinion. Would you love, or hate Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Raptors?
Stay in the East. Do not come over to the West unless you come to the Lakers. Do not come over to the West.
Mm,
Yeah, stay in the East. Like for real, I do believe he needs to be on a better team if you like because I feel like Giannis and Dan. I know you would agree with this. He took a page out of LeBron's book. He exhausted all of them resources over there in Milwaukee. Now he needs to go to another team. Like
hmm
you got Dame Lillard who got traded over there, which I feel bad for him like this man didn't want to leave Portland, but then had to leave Portland. Then he plays like a year and a half, well, basically 2 years there, and then he gets injured. He's probably not going to be the same player ever again,
Right.
and that's tough. But no, I like him. I like him in Toronto. I feel like that. I actually feel like that actually fits him. I know you explained when that rumor first came up, his relationship with Masai Ujiri. That's a good. I feel like that's a good that kind of African connection and all that stuff. And I feel like that would be a good fit for him. I really like that. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, just don't come to the West. Yeah,
I
unless
agree
it's
with
to the
that.
Lakers.
I agree with that, brother. It'll be crazy to see him out here in the West. Like he would wreak havoc on any team, like the Spurs, the Rockets, any team that's stacked like that just needs a superstar. Would be very scary. And the West is as if it already isn't stacked enough, man. Man, CJ, again, thank you so much for tapping in, my brother. I just felt like getting you guys' opinion on this whole thing because it's interesting, man. We kicking off the offseason with bangers. You know, a coach that just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals just got fired. So it's always interesting to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for tapping in, my brother.
Yeah, bro. One more thing. I
Okay.
gotta bring this up before I forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dan, I cannot wait for your draft video. Because there's one player that I hope that he's in your draft video. And you can either confirm or deny this, because I know you're Dan Stradamus. Danny Wolf. Danny Wolf. Danny
He's a good
Wolf.
player. He's a good player. The Lakers are known for getting a lot of talent either in the second round early or undrafted. So I'll be interested to see if the Lakers even want to buy another second round pick or if they're going to go fully in for veteran leaders. Maybe they even, draft and stash a player. I don't know. But Danny Wolf is solid. There's a couple other names that come to mind. Yeah, I might have to do a little second round steal video for y'all, man. I got you, bro. And the draft is this month, so everything, man. And my favorite time of the year in the off season is late June, early July. We got so many bangers coming to the channel. So thank you for
like Christmas.
Yes,
Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Christmas in July.
Go off. We're not talking 4th of July, man.
Yeah, bro. Well, I'll see, man. Can't wait to hear what the next caller's got to say, man. Looking forward to it.
Appreciate you, CJ. Have a good one, brother.
All right. You too, bro.
Peace. Right. Shout out to CJ, man. Let's bring in my good friend D Free. What's cracking, my guy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, brother. I'm doing really good, man. And what about yourself?
Doing pretty good. About to start dinner here in a second.
Yes, sir. Won't take up too much of your time, but I do want to know what you think of the breaking news here today, man. Sham's reporting that Tom Thibs was let go by the New York. I want to get your take on that.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, cool. Because I switched the mic. So it's weird because, like, on the one hand, they just were like a few games from the finals. Typically you want to run it back with that. You could also say, hey, this team really only had 1 year. That was a pretty good season for 1 year, especially they hadn't been that far in quite a while. But on the other hand, I agree with the decision to do it. And the reason why is because, to me, Thibs is basically Vogel 2.0. And what I mean by that is that he is a defensive wizard. He just does not know how to coach offense. And unfortunately, similarly to Vogel, except to a higher degree because the talent is much higher right now, they gave him a team that's an offensive team, and he didn't know what to do with it. And I don't think he had the personnel to run his style all season long and to now. Now, they showed in spurts that they could defend. Like, they have some guys that can defend, but they also have guys that are targets, like Cat and Brunson specifically. Like, you can go at Brunson because he's a small guard. You can go at Cat because he's not a great defender in general, right? Like, so I think that they've got some targets, and that just doesn't jive with him. And you saw him try to evolve throughout the season, try to lean more into offense, lean more into three-point shooting, and then in the playoffs, tried to lean more into his bench, which is just all foreign shit there. Like, he doesn't do that, right?
Right.
And I think that they need somebody that's going to be able to establish that offensive side more than he could. Like, for example, there's not enough Brunson Cat two-man game, pick and roll, pick and pop, things like that. They're not creative at all with that stuff. I like Brunson in the mid post, but they also need to stop doing isolations every time down with him and get him in more pick and rolls with other people in general. I have no clue why he's got Anunoby and Hart in the dunker spot half the time. It doesn't make any sense to me. And that just completely mucks up the spacing when they every now and again do run a pick and roll. Cat rolls down. All three of these dudes are in the paint, and the spacing is terrible. I thought the double big thing is cool, but it didn't work against the Pacers because Miles Turner just flambés that, and that was a bad decision. And really, I thought he got exposed by Carlisle as Carlisle being a better coach. Like, he coached circles around him. And I think that being the case, like, Thibs is probably somebody that peaks as a defensive coordinator in today's NBA, unless he has a great offensive mind beside him.
I was gonna say, man, I'd love to have him added on as an assistant to the Lakers. Not that we need
any, hell yeah.
But I would love to have a player like that because Thibs historically, just look at his teams. They just run through a wall for him, man. Those players, he has such a great basketball culture installed into every team he's coached. In a sense that he's very old school, gritty-minded coach. And you can hear him through the telecast all the time. And you hear his voice all the time. He's going crazy on the sideline, man. I love the passion from Thibs. It's not even right about one thing. This team, the New York Knicks, is constructed, it feels like, for a different coach. Somebody who can balance more offense and defense. And I want to ask you this, man, because I really like the Knicks roster. I thought they could beat the Pacers. I really did. But shout out to the Pacers. They're no. I mean, since they traded for Pascal Siakam last trade deadline, we figured they'd eventually be a problem. How much of a chance do you give them against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals?
So the thing about both of those teams is they both run really deep. And there are other teams that would try to run that deep, but these guys have quality depth. Like they can go 10, 11 deep. And so I think it's going to be one of those series where, like, if Hallie has a disappearing act, they're going to lose that game, of course. And too many of those is going to get them beat. So I would expect Hallie to have a couple of those because, I mean, they're going to throw Dort, they're going to throw Caruso, all these guys at him. It's going to be tough.
Yep.
And they don't generate enough offense when Hallie isn't cooking. So I think that it's probably going to be 4-2. I think that's a good for OKC. I think that's a good assumption. But I also here's the thing with this too is that I think Indiana, if they get hot shooting from some of their other guys like Neesmith or Nemhard or McConnell continues to be like a bucket, and they have maybe a couple Pascal 30-point games. We need to talk more about Pascal as well being a playoff riser. That dude is awesome in the playoffs. I think that there's an opportunity for them to maybe steal it. But I'm saying 9 times out of 10 the Thunder win this series.
Yeah, I said it a couple of rounds ago when we got eliminated. I said, "Oh my goodness, this is the Thunder's championship to lose," because I don't see too many teams out there that can match up with their depth and they have the perfect mix of youth and playoff experience and a great coach to go with it, and home court advantage. Which, even though up until now in the playoffs, it hasn't really meant much in a lot of.
I bet it matters in the finals.
In the finals is going to matter. It is. And OKC has one of the better fan bases. They sound like college atmosphere. So I agree with you, man. It should be a very fun matchup, man. And, I would love to have you on playback, man, as a guest, hopefully, for one of these games.
Yeah, for sure. I should be around. And we'll just coordinate, a couple games in, see how things are looking. But, yeah, I'm excited about it, though. I really enjoy watching Halliburton. He's one of my favorite players in the league. And and he's got such an unorthodox game. He doesn't look or move like he should be as good as he is, but that dude is legit. And he's crazy because he doesn't turn the ball over or nothing. And so I think that, like I said, they're going to throw everything they got at him, and I don't expect him to. He's liable to have a couple clunkers. He did it against the Knicks. So it's going to be a tough series for him for sure, but I think this is OKC's to lose, and I think Shea is going to, put up his 30 points and win MVP.
You know what? I'm glad you brought up Halliburton because he reminds me of another player, the way he controls the tempo and offense in the flow of the game and the way he runs pick and rolls. He reminds me a lot of Steve Nash. Now, Nash was
he looks like him, yeah.
Yeah. Nash is probably more cerebral, a little bit more crafty, but Halliburton's a better scorer. And so, those kind of players know how to manipulate defenses and how to get guys in their spots and how to take over when it's time. And he's very fun to watch, man. I look forward to the series. I hope that he can step up and he doesn't get shut down like I think he will by the size of the Thunder. So,
it's just weird. You don't see as many of those guys in today's NBA, those pass first style, run the floor offense point guards anymore. Everybody's more of the isolation, score first type guard now. So it's refreshing.
It is refreshing. A true point guard in the modern NBA. Man, D-Free, thank you so much, man. I know you got dinner to get to, but appreciate you for stopping by, my friend.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm going to hang out and keep listening, but thanks for having me on, bro.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the call. Have a good one, all right?
Yeah, you too.
All right, thank you. Shout out to D-Free, man, dropping the knowledge on the ones and twos, man. Appreciate the call. Got time for one more caller because I want to break the finals down a little bit. Let's bring in my good friend Darius Ford, who's in the dark. He's in the dark going brazy. What's up, brother? There he is. Okay. There he is. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing, Dan?
Good, man. Good. As good as we can be. It's crazy weather today. It started in the Inland Empire. It started raining, bro. Like hail, and now it's hot again. It's like tropical weather right now. So watch out for the earth.
It was kind of drizzling in my neck of the woods.
Your neck of the woods. But how you been? Talk to me, man. How you feel about the Thibs firing? You think it was a good call, bad call?
It's a polarizing call because Thibodeau, he made the Knicks pretty relevant in his short tenure, in his tenure with the Knicks. When he's got Brunson with him, him, Josh Hart, and DiVincenzo, that Villanova trio, he made them a really tough dog. And now,
right.
Yeah, Bridges, same thing. Just couldn't get over the Pacers.
Yeah, man. That's the unfortunate thing when your team makes blockbuster trades the way the Knicks made blockbuster trades, traded for Cat, traded for Mikal Bridges, your expectations rise, right? So now, where last season before the trade, it would have been an overachievement to get past Boston and get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, after the trade, you're expecting nothing short of finals. And I mentioned this probably about a week ago. I said if Thibs comes up short, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired because, again, exactly what I mentioned. I think this team was built to get to the finals at the bare minimum, and they fell short of that. Somebody's got to be the fall man. Even though I like Thibs, I do agree with the firing to a certain degree because, like the wonderful callers all mentioned, man, it's different, man. Once you have those stars on your team, you got 2 star players in Brunson and Ket. You got a bunch of good role players. You're expected to get to the finals, especially after beating the Boston Celtics, right? Now,
Yeah.
Hey, Darius, here's my thing. I would expect that if the Knicks would have won game 1, if they would have maintained that 14-point lead within a couple of minutes of the game, we would be having a way different conversation. I do believe wholeheartedly the Knicks would have been in the finals. I believe it, man, because they lost home court there. They lost momentum there. And then they followed that up with another game where they lost another home game. So I feel like they lost the series in the first game. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, man. And that's the damning thing because after they beat the Celtics, here I am on the internet and purchasing Brunson's jersey, and you're not even in the finals.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm happy with the purchase. They eliminated Boston. And, at the end of the day, it is very exciting as long as Boston didn't get a chance to get anywhere near another championship. I hope they break
Number
up their
19.
court.
It's going to happen because Luke Cornett, Al Horford are free agents. I don't think they're going to re-sign Holiday. Porzingis might be out of there. So it's just going to be Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and who else they decide to sign to replace.
It's crazy how the new CBA has teams with a smaller window to compete, especially with the teams that overpay over the luxury. Isn't that crazy? The new CBA is forcing teams to have a small window and then have to break it up because they're going to get penalized severely if they go over that second apron, So it's going to, again, everybody is reporting and speculating. Brian Windhorst said it. Shams Charania of The Athletic said it. They're expecting fireworks this summer, man. I know you're a diehard Warrior fan. So I got to ask you, man, what do you expect from your team this summer? That's my last question for you. What do you expect for your team?
Man, we need bigs, man. Like, give me Walker Kessler.
No. That's our guy, man. We called dibs on him. Pick another one.
No, I called it first.
No. Hey, listen, I've had
Vucevic.
my eyes okay, you guys can have Vooch. I'm cool off of him. He's a one-way player. He fits perfectly with Golden State since you already don't play defense. Perfect fit. No, I'm just playing. But you know what? It'll be interesting, man. Even for you guys, Curry, man, his window is. If there's even a window there anymore, there might just be concrete wall. You know what I mean? If there's even a window, they're going to try to maximize him. Otherwise, they're better off trading him and letting him compete elsewhere. But again, that's just from the outside looking in. So we'll see. We'll see what your team does. I know my team is active right now in the trade market, guys. Currently looking for a big man as we speak. So we'll see, man. It should be fun. I look forward to the matchups against you next season, brother.
Hey.
All right,
man. I'm excited for the finals on Thursday. I got the Thunder.
Who you got? Who you got in the finals?
OKC.
OKC. I like that. Smart man. I'll be shocked if the Pacers win that series. I'll be extremely shocked. I do believe the Pacers are good enough to force a 6-game series. I don't think they're good enough to force a 7. So I would be really shocked if they force a game 7 and beyond. Wow. But you never know. It is the finals. Maybe Halliburton goes Super Saiyan and he puts the team on his back, and you never know. We'll see.
Hey, Halliburton, Hallibuckets, overrated, Thunder in 5.
Oh, wow. You sure you want to go the Shannon Sharp route? You see what happened with him? He ain't even on TV no more, man. But all right, buddy. Thank you for tapping in, man. Appreciate you as always. All right, brother. All right. I know I said that was the last caller, but one more. My good friend Solo's on the line. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, Dan?
It's going good, man. Very good. We're 2 days away from the finals, and how excited are you? Who you got?
I'm excited for the finals, man. This is going to be a good matchup. I have to take OKC. They just look They're like world beaters right now, man. Shea's just on another level right now, and they just have an answer for everything you throw at them. They're such a complete and deep team. I don't see them losing this.
I gotta ask, man. I gotta ask you this. If there was what do you think has to happen? I got the keys, but what do you guys think have to happen for the Pacers to actually have a shot to force a Game 7 and beyond?
They have to play perfect every game. It's just that simple. Because you know how Halliburton is. He's great. He's phenomenal, but he has those games where he's just not scoring. He's not attacking. And you can't have that in any game in this series from him, or else they're going to lose.
Yeah,
he has to be on point. Siakam's going to be there. Siakam's going to be there. Turner's going to be there. Halliburton's going to have to lead that charge. He's the ball handler, primary ball handler. He's got to get guys involved, and he has to find he got to find and pick his spots effectively.
Absolutely. That's a good point. I want to ask you about the breaking news for today, man. Thibodeau being let go from the New York Knicks, brother. What are your thoughts on that?
It's sad, man. I personally like Thibs as a coach, man. He's a great coach. However, he has the same symptom as a lot of coaches have, man. He's just hard-headed. He's stubborn, JJ
Redick?
Right. Well, JJ, he's a rookie right now, so he still has an opportunity to grow and to change and things of that nature. But Thibodeau, he's been in the game for a long time, and you would think that throughout his many experiences with different teams, that he would learn to rely more on his bench, especially now seeing the direction that the league is going, where they're not primarily driven by just a superstar or two or three superstars. You have to have a deep team in order to advance in this league. So, and then the way, Thibs coaches, he has his few guys that he trusts and he runs them hard. And this day and age of the NBA, you can't do that. He should have learned after his experience with Derrick Rose, ran him into the ground. Now the team is basically nothing without D Rose, and you're not putting guys in position to be able to help kind of fill that void in a certain capacity. And we're all the way here in 2025, and you're still doing the same thing. So you're not learning, you're not progressing as a head coach. And it's not to say he's not a great head coach. He's great at what he does. However, in this league, just like the players, you have to grow and you have to evolve. And if you can't do that, you're going to find yourself on the outside looking in.
That's so true, man. That's so true. Great take right there. I agree, man. Thibs, my only complaint was the lack of rotation depth, that his lack of utilization, because I thought he had some really good bench players. Precious is perfect for his system. I would have thought he would have used them as a A1 off the bench, the way he rebounds and the way he crashes the glass, and his energy, kind of like a poor man's Joakim Noah. Like you would have thought, okay, like Josh Gibson, who he loved a lot, them type of players. So I was surprised he didn't use him. Landry Shamet didn't get utilized till like it was too late. So many players.
Landry's a good role player. I don't understand why he's not getting any playing time. It's crazy. And on top of that, you have a superstar, Jalen Brunson, that you're relying on just a little bit too much. He's a small guard. You have to give him time to rest, or else he could seriously injure himself. And that's your big gun right there. That's a lot of your offense right there. You have to protect that. You got to have these guys coming off the bench that can give him a blow when he needs it.
Right. I agree, brother. It's disparaging to see, but hey, I think Thibs will land somewhere as an assistant, at least, if not a head coach. After what he accomplished with the Knicks the last couple seasons, man. What are your expectations for the Lakers this summer, man? What do you want to see?
We got to see a starting caliber big man first and foremost. We have to have that. We have to have another ball handling guard coming off the bench. Somebody who can get their own shot, get some buckets, get other guys involved. It's a lot to ask for, because it seemed like a lot of guys come here and they just underperform, man. I don't understand it. It's just crazy to me because, I thought when we got Gabe, I thought that was just a steal, man.
I was excited for him. I
was extremely excited for this guy. And then he gets here and then it's just he had his ups and downs, and then when the playoffs came, it was just down,
Yeah.
Freaking Jackson Hayes, like that dude is just annoying. He needs to hit the weight room. It's just crazy.
I don't even want to back on the team the way he looked in the playoffs, bro. The way he looked in the playoffs, I don't even want him back on this team. Him, and he could take his good friend Alex Lamb with him. You know what I mean? They could go play for the Shanghai Sharks or something,
but they're big for no reason, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I felt like we had a lot of dead weight this last season, where we couldn't even like JJ. Yes, there were some players he could have used more of Vando, obviously, more of certain players. Goodwin, which I was surprised he didn't play much because he played a lot at the end of the regular season.
He played pretty good too in the playoffs.
Yeah, so he should have got more than 15 minutes a game off the bench, to alleviate some of that. But we're gonna get into it, man, because this summer is gonna become. Man, my source is telling me watch out for the Lakers. They might be the most active team on the market right now. And the reason for this is because Luka is waiting to sign that contract extension, but there are stipulations that he wants before he re-ups, right? He wants a big man, a starting caliber big who can roll. I'm hearing Nick Claxton's name pop up a lot. He wants, obviously, I'm pretty sure he's asking for depth and other things as well. So I look forward to breaking that news, man. I want to say thank you, Solo, for calling in. Again, always a pleasure, bro, to get your opinion on all things Lakers and more. But I appreciate it, brother.
For sure. Thanks for having me, Dan.
All right, my guy. We'll talk soon, all right?
All right. For sure.
Have a good one. My guy Solo, man, dropping some knowledge for sure. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the phone portion of the show. I want to shift over to the NBA Finals, guys. I want to shift over to preview the NBA Finals because it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. I think this might be one of the better NBA Finals we've seen in the last couple of years. Okay? And not because I don't think the Thunder are going to take it, but I think the Indiana Pacers have some dogs in their team. They have some good size, some length, some versatility. And this guy, just when people start to deny him, Tyrese Halliburton, when they start to deny him, he rises to yet another level, right? He's been one of my favorite players since he was a rookie with the Kings. I saw the potential. That's why I was so shocked when they traded him. So shocked. But look at their depth. Naismith is another one I would love to have on the Lakers. Obviously, Miles Turner. They got so much. Nembhard. They're good, y'all. Their offensive rating is 4th currently in the NBA. All right, 116 points per game. Defensive rating is 1st in the playoffs. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart. That's the Thunder. I'm sorry. That's the Thunder. Yeah, so I want to break down this series really quick, guys, because I think it has the potential to go 6. I don't know about 7, but 6 at least. All right. We want to look at the point guard matchup first and foremost. I want to look at the point guard matchup. Battle of the guards. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Tyrese Hallibuckets. Now, this is going to get interesting because this could be the entire series right here. The two best players, who outshines who. My money, if I had to bet the house on it, is on Shai. Okay. MVP for a reason. 6'6", great size. Averaged 32.7 points per game in the regular season, leading the league. Also, 6.4 assists, on 52, 38, 90 shooting splits. That's 52% from the field, 38% from beyond the arc, and 90% from the free throw line. Okay, that's just spectacular. Then during the playoffs, he's averaging 29.9 points per game. That's what defense is zeroing in on him. 6.9 assists, all right? And that's within 10 games of the playoffs so far. All right, that's crazy. And then Halliburton, again, a guy that we just talked about with D. Free, floor manager, one of the few floor managers out there. 19.5 points per game, 9.7 assists, shooting 51% from the field, 43% from beyond the arc in the playoffs. And he also creates a league high 25.3 points per game via passes. So he's one of the best passers, if not the best passer in the game right now in the playoffs, okay? He also led multiple clutch comebacks. Okay, now OKC has elite defense. This is what sets them apart. Led by Lou Dort, Kassan Wallace, Alex Caruso, who's a champion. They're going to aim to disrupt Halliburton's playmaking with physicality and ball pressure. Okay, we've seen this in the regular season. Halliburton was held to 4 points on December 26th and 18 points with low usage rate on March 29th versus the Thunder. Okay, SGA, however, faces a challenge from Indiana defenders as well. Guys like Nembhard and Aaron Naismith. It's never been really a challenge for Shea because he is lanky, he gets to his spots, and he knows how to draw fouls. The only way I can see this actually becoming a crazy series is if they don't call any fouls for, the regular fouls. Everybody calls him the foul merchant for Shea. It'll even things up a little bit more, but still, Shea has the ability to lock up when he wants to. Here's another key to this series. Pascal Siakam versus OKC's versatile wings and bigs. Siakam, we know Eastern Conference Finals MVP. It was funny. I don't know if you guys seen the clip. Tyrese Halliburton thought he had one, and it ended up being, Pascal, Spicy P, right? He's also a 2019 champion with Toronto, right? He has an insane ability to score in transition, and he could, he can handle OKC's defenders. Guys like Jalen Williams are going to throw at him, Lou Dort, Chet off of pick and rolls. That's going to be crucial, right? Siakam versus the Knicks averaged 24.8 points per game with 5.8 rebounds and 3.3 assists, shooting 46.3% from beyond the arc. Overall in the playoffs, 21.1 points per game, 1.6 three-pointers made. He is an X factor for sure. Now, on the other end of that spectrum, you got OKC. Jalen Williams, guys, he has proven to be an all-star this year. He has proven why he earned those honors. 22.2 points per game, shooting 49% from the field, and 46, yes, a whopping 46% from beyond the arc versus the Timberwolves. All right. Chet's been amazing as well. All right. Now, Siakam's versatility is going to be crucial, guys. His mid-range scoring makes him definitely matchup problems. The Knicks cannot handle him. Will OKC be able to? Right. That's going to be a key to this series. I think they will. Miles Turner versus Chet Holmgren. That's another key to this series. Okay. Turner's ability to stretch the floor and protect the rim versus OKC's two bigs, Holmgren and Harstein, right? Or Harstein, whatever his name is. That matchup right there, I believe the Thunder will have it because they got 2 versus 1. Okay, and those two bigs are relentless. Turner's outside shooting, again, he can try to pull out Chet Holmgren. That's going to be very crucial. You can try to pull him away from the rim, open up driving lanes for Halliburton. However, if Harstein guards Turner, Indiana may exploit the paint, guys. Okay, because then that'll open everything up, right? Harstein's lack of Turner's shooting range, OKC's double big lineup could overwhelm Indiana's interior defense. We know that, right? But Turner's X factor potential lies in capitalizing on mismatches. He was okay in the Knicks series, okay? And then you got Aaron Naismith and Andrew Nembhard versus Jalen Williams and Lou Dort. That's the way I see it. Wings on wings on wings. Let's not forget to throw in Caruso because he can guard bigger guards, wings, and point guards, right? Naismith and Nembhard, guys, they're the heart and soul of Indiana's entire defensive schemes, right? On the perimeter, at least, providing defense, tenacity, and clutch offense as well. I like Nembhard. I'm a huge fan of his. Naismith is amazing as well. The battle of the wings. Who's going to win? Who's going to win, right? It's going to be special, guys. If you guys have any questions, I would love to answer them. Let's see. Cat plays too slow for pick and roll to be unstoppable with Brunson. Yeah. The Knicks were just outmatched by the Pacers right there. Knicks were outmatched. All right. Again, the playoff offensive rating for the Pacers, I got the real one now, is actually 117.7. Okay, first amongst the remaining teams. True shooting percentage is 61%. That's scary. 40.1 3-point league leading percentage in the playoffs. Okay, the Thunder playoffs 115. Okay, 115. But it's going to be interesting. Again, because defense is where it's at. Not to mention also the Thunder have home court advantage. My prediction for this series, and I would love to get your guys' prediction as well. My prediction for this series is that the Thunder will win this series in 5 or 6 games. Barring, and this is huge right here, if the Pacers want to have a chance, they have to steal either game 1 or game 2 on the road, which is going to be really hard. It's going to be a tall task. It's going to be a tall order for them to do, right? Because, again, at home, the Thunder are different. The Thunder are way different. I believe they had the best regular season home record. What is your guys' prediction? I see my guy Eric says Thunder in 6. Love it. I can see that's probably one of the most realistic, well-rounded predictions. OG and Mikel are 3 and D. They did their part. Those two guys did their part. If anything, in the final game of that series, it was Cat and Brunson who disappeared. Cat disappearing mostly defensively. But, yeah, Cat and Brunson disappeared in that final game, and you cannot advance to the finals with your superstars disappearing any games in the playoffs, right? OKC in 4. Damn, Barry, that's how you feel? Nah, I don't think we can underestimate the Indiana Pacers like that. OKC in 5 is the maximum, I think. I think for sure the Pacers will take 1 game. If you're right, you're right. Credit to you. Credit to you if you're correct. But I do believe that the Indiana Pacers are good enough to win 1, maximum 2 games. Okay, they got the talent for that. But I do believe the Thunder are going to win. And I believe everybody should be cheering for the Thunder to win for multiple reasons. For one, because once they win, they'll have a target on their back, and it'll be a lot harder for them to climb next season. I need my Lakers to take them out, okay? If they lose, they're going to be hungrier and better than ever next year, and that's scary. I do not want to get eliminated by the Thunder next year. Lakers have a long way to go, but the last thing I want is them pulling off another blockbuster with all those draft picks and getting even better. I would love them to run it back if they win a championship. That way, they're still going to get better, but, you know, hopefully Martin is not too crazy, right? OKC in 6, I like that prediction. Again, very realistic, very respectful prediction. That's respecting the opposition and thinking the Pacers are good enough to at least win 2 games. I like that prediction, Blake. I think you're spot on with that one, but it's going to come down to a lot of things. Home court, how the series is officiated, the battle of the 2-star point guards, and, of course, the role players, the bigs versus bigs, wings versus wings, all of that, and the coach. One thing we are underestimating from the Pacers is that the Pacers have a championship pedigree coach in Rick Carlisle, who's been there and done that with the Dallas Mavericks. And he's taken on, listen, people forget Rick Carlisle won a championship versus the Heatles. Okay? The Miami Heatles that had LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Some of them at the end of their prime, some right on their prime in LeBron. But if they get, like, in Rick Carlisle's mind, he's probably comparing this series to that series. He's probably thinking, we've taken on giants before, different team, different identity, but same leader. So watch it. Let's not underestimate Rick Carlisle's ability to make adjustments, in-game adjustments, and go from there. Let's see. Mikel says, I'm going with the underdogs. I got Pacers in 7. Okay. I like it. My guy took a flyer on the Pacers, and we'll see. We'll see what prediction comes true. But one thing is for sure, this should be a very entertaining series. I've seen a lot of people saying that, you know, that this is not going to go anywhere or whatever because, you know, they're not going to get ratings because it's small market teams. For us, real hoop heads and basketball fans, we don't care. Yeah, it would have been nice to see the Knicks there, but we just want to see good basketball, especially when you don't have a dog or a horse in the race, right? But all right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for me today. Gave you guys some news, breaking news analysis, breakdown. We opened up the phone lines, and we did the finals preview. If you guys like the content, make sure to please hit that like button. We get to 200 likes. I'll drop another video tomorrow, maybe updated rumors or maybe NBA Weekly. All right, let's aim for 250. We got 25K subs. We got 26K subs. Let's aim for 250 likes, guys. I do appreciate you guys. Again, this video was brought to you and sponsored by Underdog and also Prize Picks. Promo code DTLF. Get in on the action. I think the finals money-making opportunities are going to be great. We're going to go under a lot, okay, because the defense should spike up. But should be very fun, guys. Make sure you guys keep it locked right here. I got you guys covered for every pregame and postgame for the NBA Finals. And also, do not stay back. Download the app Playback and follow me over there at GOAT Central, all right? So make sure you guys tap in to watch games. Got up to 50 VIP passes to watch along. You could be on the road. You could be doing the laundry, whatever, on the go. and you can still watch along with us. So download the app today and follow your boy over there. Again, thank you guys so much for tapping in. Shout out to my moderator, Kimmy Goat, for always doing a great job, and everybody who contributed, everybody who called in, commented, and hit the likes. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe for all things Lakers, NBA, and so much more. Keep it locked right here. Your number one source, guys. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.